Garin, it's super impressive that this was made in 2 weeks. It's such an interesting blend of Javanese culture and mythology, and as you've spoken about before, you know, like really like German expressionistic silent film. And what was the origin of the project for you? And yeah, how did it come together and then so quickly?
Yeah, sorry, this is not 2 week shooting, but nine days shooting.
9 days, not even 2
with 1 day's break.
Yeah, with 1 day breaks. Okay. Of course, I always like the, what you call, silent movie from Germany. Yeah? I love very much, and I think it is one of the golden era of cinema with the silent movie from Germany. The second thing is I also love puppet shadow. Puppet shadow is very simple, gamelan music and the screen with the black and white shadow like that. And these two sources is, give me the basic idea of this film. But also in this era, at that time, very popular with the terms of the magic realism. And magic realism from Java, Bali, and spread to the world like that. And it is why then I decided to make Setan Jawa. It's combined between the silent movie, puppet shadow, and magic realism at that time.
And Peni, you similarly take these sort of traditional Indonesian cultural traditions and the gamelan and put this really exciting experimental spin on it. So what was that process for you like of creating this score?
It's coming from very long journey of my life, of course. How to combine between tradition and experimental vocal in my voice and also in the gamelan and also other instruments. Before, Rahayu Supangga, my guru, wrote this score in gamelan ensemble with 25 musicians, with 20 symphony orchestra musicians. And I was there since 2003 in Mas Garin first film, Opera Jawa. I was in Pak Pangga, Rahayu Supangga production. So from that long journey, how I catch from Rahayu Supangga knowledge how to create composition makes me, now I made these things. And Pak Pangga in Garin Nugroho's film, Opera Jawa, it's a long time ago.
Which you can see tomorrow. We're
Tomorrow,
showing
yes.
on a beautiful 35mm print.
It's like, give me many experience to me that time, like 20 years ago, I just really very young girls, not have boyfriend yet. But Garin like, Peni, you must be imagination, adult woman, how to sing with the sexy things. Oh, it's so hard to me. But Rahayu Supangga also, yeah, this must be professional. Okay, that is start from that things. Then in Setan Jawa, then in 2018, isn't it? Or 17, you wrote this, yeah. 2017 with Rahayu Supangga again in his production. I reimagine again from music Pak Pangga created in 2003. Then put it in the 2018 production. It's been like a very long journey. Then now I create my own composition.
No, you still a teenager, yeah?
Yes, for food. Always exciting with foods. Okay, just kidding. But this is how the process music journey in the stage for Setan Jawa tonight.
And Asmara, incredible performance, and I think your first film performance,
This
right?
is my first film. Actually, we shot it, I remember because it's my first film, we shot it in September 2015, so it's 10 years ago. This is the anniversary.
And how did you come to be in the film? How did it? I think you were a dancer before, right?
It was part of a hobby, so I didn't dance professionally. But then I met Garin Nugroho in his film premiere, and he was asking our friends, Paul Agusta, also a director. And actually, I really remember because Garin asked Paul, like, who is that surrealist girl? And then I think the next week, he texted me for a coffee, and then we arranged the casting in Salihara. It's an art center in Jakarta with Jala, our Australian producer. But I think Garin has an interesting story from our encounter.
Yeah, because I asked her a showreel.
And at that time, I didn't have a show reel because I just got back to Indonesia. I was living in Italy before, so I didn't have anything to show to Garin.
And then in the showreel, what kind of dance?
I was sending him a pole dance show.
and I received only the pole dance, yeah. And then my assistant, this is the one of the greatest surreal. And of course, my brother Garin don't make a joke like that. And then, no, it is not a joke. And then I asked her to casting. But from that kind of pole dance, that I understand very much that she and her body language is so relaxed with the body language. And everything become like more, it's like silent expression, silent movie expression with the pole dance. And then I say to my friend, even she never learned Japanese dance, I say to my friend, with that kind of surreal, that first time, of course, I say that I trust first in the silent movie, the body language is one of the important thing for expression.
And how do you direct actors on set, particularly in the context of the silent film that's so much about movement and dance and gestures? Were you doing the choreography as well?
Yeah, we have the choreographer workshop, but the first time is very difficult because all the reference of silent movie is from the West. And I try in the rehearsal to copy, to reference acting in silent movie with the reference from the West, and totally not success. Then I understand that dance itself have so many perspectives. One is dance is telling the story. Dance is the essence of what you call life itself. Then also the body language in the silent. And then I make decision to what you acting in silent movie in Setan Jawa, use the language from the dance, focus in Javanese classic dance.
I'm sure there are some questions from the audience, so if you have one, please feel free to throw your hand up and we'll bring you a microphone. For any three of these extraordinary artists. If not, happy to keep going right here in the third row.
Thank you so much for the three-dimensional alive performance. It's very different experience for the audience. Mbak Peni, halo.
Halo Mbak, iya kabarnya?
Apa? Just gandos. But Penny, I want to ask also, and all of the team, the choices of the noise, the voice, the embodied feelings, because you read as an artist, you see the monitors and all of the crew, the musicians. Tell us a little bit on the process, the choices that you make as an artist to make that kind of decisions about artistic arrangements of voices in relations to Javanese belief systems and everything that you have in your life. And then for Asmara, I really love the actings there. And the scenes about the couples is really alive to me. That it's very beautiful, the way it's being arranged. As a person who's not, are you familiar more about before, probably about the Javanese culture? How are you adjusting in terms of, this is pesugihan, it's very hard and heavy and deep into the Javanese culture. How are you interpret that in your acting and sort of like, and also with these topics, are you comfortable with that? Do you have moments of uncomfortable and struggles that you can share with us? Yeah, I would like to know. Thank you.
Oke, I will answer first. Halo Mbak, terima kasih telah datang, dosen di Yale University. How to create music in Setan Jawa? Of course, I have experience before from my guru Rahayu Supangga from before production, previous production. And in here, I reimagined again. And of course, connect with the background of many cultures in music cultures I present in music, like not only from Java, but Balinese voices in there with Pak Gusti Sudarta. And I try to like make composition like little Balinese things, atmospheric, and also the singing styles. Because it's only two singers in here, two vocalists, so I must be represented as a setan, as a dog, as Asmara, the beautifulest person in this movie, and also as the Setan Jawa, and also as Satyo, the character of the man in this main character here. It must be think if as a dog, how I choose and how relate with background culture of the vocals. For example, like voices of in wayang style, like Hanuman, Kera, things like, and then I just combined it with the of course the visual in there to make more life and connect with visual and my voices. Also for Asmara, how do I interpret her feeling on her movement, to singing in words, in Javanese words, with emotional, how very pain woman really love her husband, but the husband really in the pain, and also must be make love with Setan. How to feel this? It is. I don't have any experience with Setan, but you know, Garin, Mas Garin always Penny feel. How to feel? I don't have any experience with Setan, but you know, we are a woman. We have feeling. I am a mother. I am also, of course, like sensibility of a woman to love our lover, to keep them like strong again, life again. Failed, died. How to feel in the vocals in there, and also in the experimental mixed with traditional technique vocal. It's really challenge in my life in this movie. And also I choose like some of the experimental, but combine it in Banyuwangen style. It was from previous Setan Jawa movie music from Pak Rayu Supangga. I took several of Rayu Supangga composition in here, like Banyuwangen style, etc., to respect him. And also, I think that kind of the vocal styles is cannot replaced, must be that vocal things. And also, main character, because I don't have Javanese main character in there, but I must be singing it in the main character. So I took like odo-odo style in the wayang puppet shadow performances to interpret it in the Setan Jawa character for the main character. Just for this, maybe later, next, after, tomorrow I will go to Wesleyan. We talk again after show. Okay, my sister, thank you so much for asking me.
Asmara?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up in a traditional Javanese environment. My parents, pretty much, they're from Jakarta. But like my grandparents and my grandmother from my father's side, they're from Jogja. I mean, like, I kind of understand a bit, but it was so different. I think all the maestros from Art Institute of Surakarta, Indonesia, really helped me build ASI. It was a very intense 2 weeks workshop every day. I felt like one of the students of ISI Surakarta back then in 2015. So they had the program for me like every day, like Javanese classical dance, contemporary dance, mimicking the animals. And then also we had a lot of choreographers, Mas Danang. Mas Danang is basically the one who take care my body works. And then we work together with Mas Garin and then trying to understand what he wants from each scene. So everything was choreographed before, but then obviously on set, there's a lot of spontaneity, especially when the camera was in Pateo. So a lot of change on set. And I think Mas Garin really gave me a lot of freedom to kind of feel what I'm feeling on set and use my instinct. It was kind of like very freeing and liberating to work in that kind of environment for my first film. I think for someone who is not growing up with the familiarity of this very deep Javanese culture, all I can do is absorb and try to understand and learn from everyone. I did read Serat Centini to help me understand like the ground of this. It's inspired me a lot.
Up there?
First, I felt like I was watching a wayang, and I was thinking, maybe this should be 9 hours. Probably the actors and the musicians don't want that. Garin, I want you to, if you can tell us about maybe some of the allegorical references that you were trying to put forward here. The film starts with some narration about colonialism. Can you explore that a little bit more within the context of the film itself? Either contemporary allegory or past references. That would be very interesting for us to hear.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, this film is the background of this film is about in the colonial era, yeah, about 1900 until 1940, 40 like that. This is the era of the colonialism, And at that era, one of the famous painter make the painter about the pesugihan, the magic to get the money, become rich like that. That time, this man, name is I forget the name, he is painting in the market at that time. And people who try to understand and who try to follow this magic to become rich is use that painting in about 1900 until 1945. And he made so many painting with charcoal like that, and become popular. It is, I think, about the 7 type, the way to become rich in the magic realism like that. It is why then my first reference for all this visual is from this painting. And until now, this painting is influenced many things, even in the contemporary world of painting Indonesia. The name is Harjo Lukito, the name of the painter. Yeah, he lived until about 1960 like that, this painter. But he always paint for the everyday people, every life people. This is I like it very much, the reference of the visual. The second thing is the magic realism that developed in Bali. This is the second my reference about the magic realism is also come in about 1936 like that until 40. At that time, so many like diva or artists from European come to Bali. Walter Spies, for example, Cherry Chaplin, Margaret Mead, and etc. All the scientists, many artists from European come to Bali, and at that time, some of the painting, like from Walter Spies, is also magic realism, and is also developed and influenced in the European painting about the magic realism. This is the second thing, and the third thing is that in this era, this is the first era of the globalism, the first era of Industrial Revolution 1.0, now is 5.0. And everything is combined together between mysticism, contemporary day, and the fashion is also like that, mixed together. It is why if you saw this movie, the reference between mysticism, painting, dance, contemporary life is come together in this movie. And I like very much in the era of 1900 until about 1930 in the first globalism in Industrial Revolution 1.0, because it's mixed together, everything there. And this is become my sources to develop the style of visual and also the style of tell the story. If you saw the way tell story is like the modern and modern storytelling in the cinema, beginning, middle, and ending like that with the tusuk konde.
The hair.
They wet with hair like that, you know. But I try to combine with the way puppet shadow or traditional dance Indonesia, so many symbol. It means I try to combine between the way film modern tell story and the way traditional like wayang orang tell story is always combination together like that. Thank you very much.
Any final question maybe? Yeah.
So I just want to thank you all. It was an incredible bunch of performances, and that's one of the most amazing vocal performances I've ever heard. It was really tremendous. Thank you. My question is really that I don't know how much, but maybe half of this whole film is really dance. And maybe this is a question most for the director. Were you experienced in dance, or how do you direct dancers as a director if maybe you're primarily a storyteller? Do you always direct dance? Are you very familiar with it? How did you make those decisions and help the actors and dancers create this incredible piece? Thank you.
I always try everything make simple. Dancer is also acting with the movement. For example, with the dog, the dancer, the dog. I say, for example, the dog angry, like that. And just dance with the basic issue, the dog angry. It's very simple. I always say to my friend that everything is simple. All of you is the best dancer in Javanese dance. And the acting is about laugh, fighting, okay, sad, happy, angry. And then if I say, yeah, you happy, now is the acting for happiness. Just express with your choreography, with the meaning of the angry itself. I always try to make simple everything. And I always say to all my crew that human beings is homo narrative and homo symbolicum. Human being is always tell a story and express with the symbol. And don't worry, just do it with your talent and your craft. Your talent and your craft is dance, and do it. And then it will become tell story and make a symbol. And it's free for the audience to make interpretation. And I always, I never make a scenario. No scenario. 27 of my film, about half of them is no scenario. Because in my country, we are oral traditional. We are not the written culture.
So there was no script you were working from?
Yeah, I think there's just like one page, but it's like more like a...
Rachel?
It's more like call sheet, I guess.
Well, a huge thank you to Asmara, Peni, and
Rachel
Garin.
just want to talk something. Rachel Cooper wanted to talk.
Just, I wanted to ask Mas Garin, so much of your film work is embedded in Indonesian culture and often in more traditional sides of Indonesian cultures. And it's very powerful. And I'm just realizing, as you said earlier, that you kind of had to leave all the Western memes aside and find your own way with this silent film. So I'm just thinking about the power of that history, that legacy of Indonesian culture, and what is the future of that, because it's its own voice. It's a voice that is not like anything in the West, and I wouldn't even go West-East, it's Indonesian. Could you say something about the use of Indonesian culture and how that can become its own part of your filmmaking?
Yeah, I think in my life, of our life, we always three elements of culture. One is heritage culture. It's like more classical culture. The second is more popular culture. And the third is alternative culture. And start in, for example, 1981, I always traveling around Indonesia, make documentary. And these three elements always live in every single area of culture. For example, even in dance like that. We have, of course, in every area have the popular culture, alternative culture, and also the heritage culture, you know. And even the heritage culture is not a static, always develop. For example, the Bedoyo. If you saw one of the dance with 9 women, it's just Bedayan. Bedayan is the classical dance from Jawa. And you saw so many type of dance of Bedayan, It's different every era. For example, one time with only kipas, the fans like that, the dan. But the another period, the dan bring the wine glass. And the another period use the gun. It means even it is heritage culture, it will always develop in the contemporary way. And I think it's like culinary, like a food, yeah. Everyone loves local food. Even between local and global didn't have the border. And it is why in the future, I think, more in my personal perspective, the strongest thing is the local become global and global become local. And if every area like in Indonesia can try to develop this perspective, the alternative, heritage, and the popular as the ecosystem, the development of society will be very strong and healthy. But if only the popular culture, I think the future it will be not strong and healthy, because the combination between three is the basic idea of life itself. As a personal, even all of you, you will be like the local food, original food, heritage food. But you will also looking for the popular thing. But you will sometimes you also looking for the alternative chef who to make some new food like that. I think for the future, all the citizens in the world, if these three elements can combine together and mix together and complementary each other. For example, if I never learn about the classical batik in Indonesia, for example, I think all the alternative fashion in Indonesia is never exist. Even Louis Vuitton, the symbol is kawung, batik kawung, the symbol of Louis Vuitton is kawung batik, for example. I think these three elements, if you not try to develop and complement each other, I think the development of the future Indonesia will also, even in many areas and many countries, will build not healthy and strong in the future. Thank you very much.
And thank you all so much.